Hello everyone, I'm Saurabh Jain from BI-analytics.org, Business Intelligence and Digital Transformation. Today, I've come up with case series 8, which is about Lambda helper functions recently announced by Microsoft. In these, there are functions like map, reduce, scan. So what actually is, now with these functions, we can use Lambda as a values. We'll look into this, but just before that, those who don't know what is lambda, I would highly recommend watching lambdas and recursive lambdas, my previous video, where I have completely given the instructions and details how can we create our own user defined functions with the help of lambdas, and once these functions are created, how can we use them as a recursive lambdas. So there are a couple of very good interesting cases that will help you to understand what lambdas are. Yeah, but in this video also we'll be using lambda, so you can also get an explanation what lambda is. But yes, the last video will give you a much better explanation. So moving ahead, when we talk about lambda, Microsoft is looking forward how lambda can be passed as a values in a function. Say sometimes we pass some range, so that range has been passed in the function, right? So now in the function we can create our own lambda functions. This is something a new thing, lambda as arguments. The idea is this. When we talk about the new add-ons, these are the list like map function, reduce function, scan function, make array, by row, by column, ISOMITTED. These are generally used for array transformations. So we'll look one into one. So let's see. Let's open our Excel worksheet and take an example of each case, how map works, how reduce works, what is the objective. Let's go ahead. So I have this Excel open. So look, this is our map function. So this is example. Let's go into this detail. See this is the data 10, 20, 25, 18, 45, so like this. So now what does map function do is, we will pass each value of this data into the sum function and say our objective is to create a square. So like this is a square is created, right? So every time the number is gone and it's created a square of it. So every time the new value will be transformed. So let's write a formula to understand this better. Let me insert a column, row. Fine. So let's see, this is a number. So what I'll do is, let me zoom in. So this is my data 10, 20, 30, 40, 56, right? Okay. So now I zoom into it and say we use like this. We'll be using a function called map, right? So we'll write create is equals to map map. Here comes. Now it asks for three things. First is array and lambda function. So array is the data on which we want to apply a lambda, right? So this is our array. I select this as an array, comma. Now I say I want to pass a lambda. So how we create lambda? We say lambda, lambda, bracket open. Now I say first of all parameter. So my parameter is say x, which is the each value of this data, x. Now I want to do x square. I want to square it out. So I say x multiply by x. Fine. So this is done. So this is how we have created use the map function, right? So I've closed the lambda function. Now I'll close the bracket of map functions, and here comes the answer. So look what is done. This is the data. So first of all 10 is passed into the lambda and it done the square of it. So we have 100. So each time every value is passed, each independent value is passed, and there's a new array come up, right? And now say if you enter another data, say you say 45. So see, here's another answer coming up, right? So this is how map function use. Let me take one more example of it for you. I just created this thing. See, so this is something we have created a principal, rate and time, and say I want to create a simple interest formula with the map function. So what map will do? It will pass principal, rate and time into lambda for each row, and once it passes it will give you the answer, and here will be the answer. So let's do it once again. See, is equals to map bracket open. Now you have to find arrays, right? So this can be one array, This can be second array. Just a minute, I forgot to write a comma. So this is one, this is second array, comma, this is third array. So what I want to say is that we can pass multiple arrays into it. Now when I have passed multiple arrays, I can write comma. Now it is about what? We have to write a lambda function. So I say lambda, lambda, bracket open. Now I have three parameters, right? So first is say x, or I can say p, comma r, comma t. Fine. So these are my parameters. Now I say comma p multiply by r multiply by t. Fine. So this is like PRT, and rate is already in percent, right? So we don't have to write 100. So this is done. So now I will close the lambda, and now I will close the bracket of map function. Fine. So this is done. And see, I got this answer. 700, 840 like this. Got it? Hope you are able to understand, and you can see this formula. So if I just click on this, you can see the formula is equals to map, table principal, table rate, table R3. So these are the values being passed. So each time, say first of all 5000, 7% and 2 is passed into the lambda function, and gives you the value transformation. So if I say like this, with map you can easily author a lambda which applies a formula to every value and returns the result. Fine. So actually it superpowers a value transformation for you. So what does this mean is you are passing each data every time into lambda, and lambda is giving you answer based on the formula you have made, right? So this is quite interesting. Generally we used to do write macros for I equals to 1 to 10 like this. Now it's not needed. You can directly do it. Fine. So this was a map function. Now let's talk about the new function, that is reduce. Okay. So what does reduce do is, see. So reduce, as the name suggests, it counts, it reduces us into single value. Our objective is to get some single value. That is why reduce has been used. Say this is the data. Fine. And you want to count something. You say how many negative numbers are there. This is something I want to do. So what I can do is, I will write a formula like is equals to reduce, right? REDUCE, reduce, bracket open. Now it says initial value. Say I want to count how many negative numbers are, right? So my initial value is 0. So every time it goes, it will increment by 1, right? So I say 0. Now I say comma. Fine. Now it is asking me the array. So I take this as the array first of all. So this is my array. So now every time the value of this array will be processed into a lambda function. So now I say comma. Now I will write the lambda function. LAMBDA, lambda, bracket open. Now you have to do something. So first of all it is an accumulator. So we can say count. See, CO, or I can say just a C as a variable. C, comma. Now this is value, right? So I can say data for D. So I say D. Fine. C comma D. Now I have to write a function. So I say if bracket D is less than 0. What? D is less than 0, because I am calculating a negative value, right? So if D is less than 0, what I can do? Comma. I can say if D is less than 0, it will be increment, right? So it will be what? It will be C plus 1. So I'll increase C plus 1. Else it will be C, the original value. So let's close the if statement, then close the lambda statement, and then close the reduce statement. And here comes the answer 3. Fine. So there are 3 negative numbers. If you see, say if I add one more negative number into it, say minus 75. So here comes the answer 4. Fine. So this is how we can use reduce. So idea was reduce has another parameter which is called accumulator, or it is like a counter. So by default I have added counter as a 0, and when the condition meets, it either increases or decreases. So this is how we can use reduce function. Fine. Now we'll talk about a scan function. This is interesting function. Scan is used to display intermediate values. Say you are doing a total. So generally we do the grand total in the end, right? But there can be something like running totals. So we can do the running total. Let me see your example. Say, look, 100 means 100, right? And 400 means 100 plus 400, then 500, right? So 100 plus 400. So we have a running total like this. So we can see how we can do this thing. Is we again have this called scan function. So let's write this scan function again for you. See over here. So what I'll do is I write is equals to scan. So it will scan each value and will produce the intermediate results. So let's start scan. Now I say initial value. So my initial value is again 0. Say if we are adding, we can have 1 if we are multiplying. Say if we are doing factorization, it has to be 1, right? Factorials. Okay. So 0. So initial is 0. Now I say value. It is array. So I use this array, right? So this is my array for you. Now after this, I have to put comma. Now I have to use a lambda function. So what lambda function will say? Lambda, lambda, bracket open. Now because I am doing every time adding, right? So now first of all it is the accumulator, that is our starting value a, comma x, right? Now my function is a plus x, because every time I have to add the new value which is coming from the array x has to be added into a. So I can say a plus x, fine. Now I have to close the lambda bracket and then I have to close the scan bracket. So let's see. Here comes the answer. So 100, 500, 1000, 1400. What I'll do is I'll just give you this sheet as a download. So you can download it and type with your hand, because it is very important. You may understand, but by doing with your hands will give you a better idea how to apply it, right? So I will share the link. You can download this Excel file from bi-analytics.org. Business Intelligence and Digital Transformation Committee. Okay. There's another example for scan. See, right? This was the plus, right? Now we can concatenate also. So we can apply this on text string also. Let's apply. Is equals to scan. See, what is my initial value? Initial value is an empty string. So I just put inverted comma, open, inverted comma, close. Now I say comma. Now it is like we have to do a array. So this is my array. Fine. Now I have to apply lambda function. So what is lambda? Lambda, lambda, bracket open. Now we have to give 2 parameters, right? So first is say word, my initial word, comma, my value. Say value is the new value, right? Value. So word and value, right? So word is accumulator and value is my value, comma. Now what I have to do? I have to write word ampersand value. So every time the value will be added into the word. Let's see. So now let me close the lambda bracket. Now close the scan bracket. And here comes the answer. A, B, C like this. So this is quite interesting thing. Fine. So this was about scan. So scan is used to give the results, intermediate results. So every time the new value is added, it is showing the result. Right? In macros, if you remember, you need to do sum for I is equals to 1 to 10 and next I. So if you write outside next I, that was the final result. But if you write message box inside for next loop, so it will be the intermediate result. So this intermediate result has come like this. Fine. Okay. Now this is MAKEARRAY function. So what does it do? It returns a calculated of array of a specified row and column. So you can now create an array in quick seconds. Let's see. So this is MAKEARRAY function. Say this is the table, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like this. So now this has been made by a MAKEARRAY function. So what we'll do is, one is row and comma column. So I say is equals to make array. Fine. So this is my MAKEARRAY. Now it asks you how many rows and columns you want to make. So say we make 10, 10. So I say 10, 10. So these are the rows and these are columns. Now what you want to do in this function? So I say comma, again lambda, lambda. Now say first is r, my parameter, second is comma, c is a parameter. Now what you want to do is r comma c. Say I want to multiply the values. Fine. So because I have given 10, 10 in starting, it will take as a 10, 10. So I say r comma c. If I say r, small r, multiply by c. So now let me close the lambda bracket. Let me close the MAKEARRAY and see. And here comes the bracket. So this is interesting, right? And we can also link that with, say, some other number. Say right now it's 10, 10, right? Say if I write 3 and 3, right? So now when I have this value and say instead of 10, 10, I reference to this 3. Then for this 10, I reference to this, fine. So now you have this variable like this. So now every time you change it, say 3, 7, it will change like this. So these are dynamic array, right? If I say 10, 3, 10, 7, so this will look like this. So this is an interesting example of creating your own array. Now look, in this the array, when we created an array, it was linked to row and column. You can also do without row and column. Say you want to generate a random numbers from random numbers of between 1 to 3. But say array is 10, 2. Fine. So what I want is, I want to create an arrow, say of 10, 7 like this. Or let's do 10, 2. So I want to have an array of 10, 2. So what I'll do is, I say is equals to make an array. Now I have to give rows. So I give row number like this, comma, column number like this. Fine. Now we write a function. So function will be what? Now say I don't want to give this. So I write a lambda, L-A-M-B-D-A, lambda. In this lambda, I use R, comma C. But in final value, I am not using R, comma C. I say I use a number random between, and I put say 1, 3. So the value will come between 1 and 3, or I can say 1, 10. Right. Now close the bracket of rand between, then close lambda, and then close, make this, and see. Here comes the magic. So you have 10, 2 row with a random numbers available for you. Say if I do it 10, 3, this changes to 3 numbers. So this is interesting again, right? So this was using a make array formulas. Now we'll talk about BYROW, which is called BYROW. BYROW means that every time the operation will be done on a complete one row. It means that we can calculate something, we can do some calculation on one row. We can count, we can average, we can do anything. So say this is an example where you have a temperature. Say for week 1, this is the temperature. For week 2. So if we want to calculate the temperature of weekly temperature, average of weekly temperature, week 1. So how we can do? So we have to apply an average of this particular data. So every row we need to calculate average of each data point in a row, right? So let's go ahead. What I do is equals to, so operation is BYROW, right? So I say BYROW, bracket open. Now I have to pass the array. So say this is my array. Fine. Now because this is my array, I can even pass headers, no issues, it will work. But okay, BYROW. Now I have this called lambda function, comma, L-A-M-B-D-A, lambda, bracket. Now say I first of all say is that x is my parameter or value. So x is a complete array. That is a complete row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, right? Now I say average of x. A-V-E-R-A-G-E, average of x. Fine. So this is close of average of x. Then you close the bracket of lambda and you close the BYROW. So let's see what happens. So here comes the average. Interesting, right? So you can see that this is the average. So if I talk of this number, say my average is what? 34.5. So it's showing 34. So this is the BYROW operations we have done, right? Same way we can do by column also. Say imagine I want to calculate the average Sunday temperature, right? Average Monday temperature, average Tuesday temperature. So how can we do it? So I'll apply by column over here. So I say is equals to by column, bracket open. Now apply array once again. So now the operations will be performed on the by array. Or say I want to calculate the maximum instead of average this time. So we'll calculate the max function. Okay, let's go ahead. See on which week the Sunday was the highest temperature, right? So by array. Now I say comma. Now I say lambda, bracket open. Now parameters. So my parameter is what? Say x, and I want to find the max of x, the maximum number in that array. So comma, max, max of x, done. So max close. Now lambda close, and now BYCOL close. So here comes the answer. So you can say the maximum number is 45, 43, 45. In this the 44, right? So this is how we have calculated the maximum of each Sundays, right? So this is the by column and 45 is the maximum in this. So this is how you can use by column and by row. Fine. So these were the things. Now I'll talk about something function. This is called is omitted. Now when we talk about lambda function, generally earlier what was that you cannot pass an optional argument. So now something new has happened, that now you can pass optional argument as well. So let's see this. Say you want to make a lambda function which says multiplication of two numbers, say a into b. Fine. So how we write the formula? It was like is equals to LAMDA lambda bracket open. Now we write two parameters is a comma b. Fine. And multiplication is what? A multiplied by b. Fine. So this was like done. So now when you do, you have to pass value. Say so you can pass a bracket is 4 comma 5. So this will give 20 as answer, right? So this was a lambda function, right? But now if you don't give any number, it is giving 0 right now because it has passed. Now something new has happened. But see how it will happen now. Now let's show what will do. So if we don't give any value, how can we give an optional argument to it? That we'll talk about, right? So right now it is 4 comma 5. So by default it is taken 0 as optional. But now let's write this formula again. So this time what we'll do is, let me zoom into it. So this time I'll write is equals to, fine, my is lambda, LAMDA lambda, bracket open, fine. Now you have parameters. So first of all you say x comma y, fine. You have called x comma y. Now, comma, now there's a function called is omitted. What? Is omitted. So I say if, bracket open, is omitted. So if, which parameter? So I say y. Say if is y is omitted is y. So comma, if it is y, I will say I will use it as 1 into x, the answer. So instead of 1 into x, because y is not available, right? And if it is available, I say y into x. So if y will not be available, it will take y as a 1. Fine. So now see, I close this 1. That is, it has closed the is omitted function. Already closed. Now y has been closed. Now I say lambda has been closed. Now let's press enter. So now it's calcs because I have not put the value, right? So now I say bracket open and say if I import 4 comma and I'm not giving any value of 5. So answer should come 4 into 1. Let's see. So here comes 4 because it has taken as an argument. So if y argument is missing, it has substituted y as a 1 and it is given the answer for you. So this is how you can use omitted functions. So this was something which I thought of sharing with you all today. So we have done with these all 7 functions. Fine. So we've done with this map, reduce, scan, make array, by row, by column and is omitted functions. I would be happy if you can share your experience, your cases where you would like to use, which one you like the most one in the comment. So that will help me out even to create more examples, and if it will be, I'll be happy if I can solve your problems as well. Fine. Look forward. Let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to ask in the comment, and yes, share your example cases where you would like to use which function. So I look forward for you. If you can join me on bi-analytics.org, it's a knowledge community for BI professionals, Excel, VBA, Office script users. You all can come over here and can have interaction, discussion, and tips and tricks can also be shared over here. So once again, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching the video.